This podcast is a production of Unfiltered Studios. If you would like to know more about joining Unfiltered Studios, please visit our website at unfpod.com for more information.
You know what's not easy? Talking about concert movies.
Oh God, yeah. I'm a big fan of concert movies. I love concert movies.
We were talking how a lot of movies in the 60s kind of become voyeuristic. It's interesting how with these movies, especially, we can talk endlessly about Scorsese's Rolling Stones ones as well as Stop Making Sense, but I do love the joy of how you're getting half a concert half the time, and the other half is either a fictional plot or a documentary showing behind the scenes rehearsals and what's in their trailers, and just like, whoa.
Well, the best concert movies I've seen, the best one I ever saw, and I was just watching it before, was The Last Waltz.
The Last Waltz?
By the band.
Sweet.
Which was... They were Bob Dylan's backup band, and then they became the band.
The band.
And the band. And they released like a whole bunch of records, and they were kind of like, when psychedelic music was big, they kind of brought it all back to, the basics again of rock and roll. And the movie itself is steeped in a lot. Scorsese did it. Scorsese did the movie. He worked with Robbie Robertson on it. And the movie is basically the last show they're doing as a group. Thanksgiving, 1976. This is the last show they're doing, and that's it. They're done. They'll put out another record, Islands, 70, 77, I think. But the band themselves had done, 16 years, 8 years in dives, bars, and, and then 8 years in, stadiums, theaters, and, all that stuff. And it's a celebration of this group.
Really
and I think it is one of the greatest rock and roll concert movies of all time. They bring everybody out of the woodwork on that one. They bring out.
I like it. I recommend if you're going to watch it in today's world, make sure you're watching it with some other historians or maybe in a film studies class so you can process it a little more.
Watch it in the dark and play it loud.
Definitely play it loud.
Fucking loud.
Yes.
And that's the great thing about that movie. Just play it the fuck loud. I think that's the gold standard to me. I mean, you can have the Taylor Swift.
Watch it the way it's meant to be seen.
Yeah.
Instead of I'm pausing it constantly. It's like, well, you've just killed the momentum.
That's why I love when people say, I'm going to see a Taylor Swift movie. No. Taylor Swift isn't talented. Taylor Swift is just Taylor Swift is just, a mannequin who sings. They did that with the Justin Bieber movie. I remember Justin Bieber had a concert movie came out.
And they're like, Katy Perry movie, and it was like, they didn't even tell you what the movie was other than that she's in it. I'm like, well, if I'm going to see, even if I like said celeb, what are they doing on screen? Yes.
There's another one. There's a whole bunch of other concert movies that I love. Like I love watching the Rock Show with Wings when that came out, which was, I think, Paul McCartney's movie about them on tour.
Lovely.
I think during 75, 76.
Yes.
And then there's George Harrison, the concert for Bangladesh, which was great.
Oh wow. Some deep
that's a great
here. Yes.
That's a good one. Neil Young did one. for the live Rust, which was the last one he did in the 70s.
Live.
And he did that, and then he did. There's one arc. He did a whole bunch of these video cassettes where he was like, he was playing. So one of them was live Rust. It was actually the
Rust Never Sleeps is what I'm seeing.
Rust
Neil
Never
Young.
Sleeps. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the movie. Rust Never Sleeps. And
It's on
I remember.
Facebook. That's
Oh God, it's a great fucking movie to watch. It's like he pulls out everything that night,
Sweet.
And I love Neil Young, I don't see the concert movies
We
to
were
me.
joking about sexploitation in another episode, and I can't help but wonder is like there must be someone in the audience saying, "Hey James, when are we going to see more Pink?" And I feel like with these concert movies, everyone's like, "Hey, when are they going to blast our ears off?"
Yeah, yeah,
And when it happens, it's still a lot to process, just because again, there is no CGI dressing this
no.
up or auto tuning. Is like, no, what the reactions in the audience are exactly what is happening.
Well, I mean, I love. If you ever watch Monterey Pop from '68, which was the '67 Monterey Pop Festival, that
Mhm.
was the one with like Jimi Hendrix, The Who, Janis Joplin.
Yes,
A lot of bands didn't make it into the edit because of contractual obligations. Like Buffalo Springfield gets introduced
did
by
they ever
Peter
include them
Tork.
as like special
Uh,
features or
yeah,
b-sides?
the Birds were introduced. The Birds were in that
The
show. That's one of
birds.
the last shows Crosby does with them in the band before he gets kicked out.
Yeah.
Because he's on stage and he starts talking about the Kennedy assassination, how they should give world leaders LSD, which would be a great idea today. Um, you know, you know, uh,
Yeah, no
you know,
shit.
and after Tuesday, I think that should be done. Um,
It should be legalized. Just like,
it should
okay,
be legal.
if you
Yeah,
want someone to get something done, we gotta have a mental health healing day.
yeah. But there's
Uh,
the thing I loved about Monterey Pop was it was so inclusive because there was the Who, Jimi Hendrix, Eric Burden and the Animals, Otis Redding, who
you can watch
stops
that
the
on
show.
Max as we speak, by the way,
Yeah,
everyone.
Otis Redding,
Otis
Eric
Redding.
Eric Burden and the Animals. I keep thinking Canned Heat is in it for some reason. Uh
So kind of
Moms in the
like
Pop.
200 Motels, it's a bunch of different groups playing on one
Well,
stage.
no, 200 Motels isn't. No, I think 200 Motels was more.
Well, remember it's Keith Moon, Zappa, The Who.
No, the Who aren't in it. It's
Well, yeah, just Keith Moon, but also Ringo
just Keith
Starr.
Moon. The other one that comes out after that is um, you know, Woodstock, which is
Yes.
fucking phenomenal because that's the movie that everybody watches and goes, they just remember like what's the best part of Woodstock? Well, the Who come on.
How
The
about
Who come
the
on and blow
decline of
everybody out.
Western civilization? Like that is tragic how it's kind of obscure and lost, but then gets reevaluated on home video, and then now it's considered culturally, significant.
Yeah, that was
Three parts.
I watched the second one, the Decline and Fall of Western Civilization Part Two,
Hmm.
and all I can think to myself is, thank God grunge came along because there's some bands in there you're just like, what the like you find out later the guy from who's it? The guy from Wasp
Oh yeah.
who was in the pool.
Fear
He wasn't
also
drunk.
plays
He
the
wasn't drunk.
germs. Yeah.
Yeah, no, the Germs were in the first one.
Okay.
The
So,
Germs,
so in the second
they,
one,
the second one is the heavy metal bands. So it's like
that's
Wasp,
right.
Odin,
And part
all these,
three was the gutter punk.
yeah, gutter punk one, yeah. But part two is like hilarious because it's like the '80s, and you're just about this close to going, thank God Nirvana came along.
They got
You
them
know,
up on their feet again. Yeah.
oh, you watch that movie, you watch the first one, and it's great to watch because it's like this little
Part
clip
two
of
did
what,
have some interruptions, and you're like, well, I'm glad
oh,
you captured it on film, but next time I watch it, I'm fast forwarding past that.
yeah, like they have the whiskey a go Bill Gazzari's at I think it was they had a bikini contest,
Oh,
and like
yeah.
there's this band coming and goes, come on, let's hear it for Odin, 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 Odin. This one's gonna be a song we talk when we take the Ruskies out. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
And there's a reason
Yeah.
that Penelope Speffelis goes on to do Wayne's World.
Yeah, why Penelope Spears just wrote Wayne's World, and it's like you're just like, oh, thank God she did this, you know.
Hmm.
But I think the thing gets me the most too is like concert movies have to show like the band at work, you know?
Yes.
Like Song Remains the Same. I love watching Zeppelin. It's the shit in between that I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
That's why I love Song Remains the Same, but the beginning's great. You hear, Bron Ure and all that, and then it goes to like, now they're playing, now, but when John Bonham plays, which is a great thing to watch, he's playing the drums on with his hands and shit. And like you see, like, he's like, it shows him what he's doing. And then, cuts to Peter, their manager at the time, Peter Grant being a mobster and like, breaking down a door and shooting all these people up. I'm like, what the fuck is that all about? What
And
the, where, it
even the
was,
people filming it don't know what they're doing. They're just like,
yeah, it's just, let's
okay,
just, yeah, let's
keep
just
it
do some
rolling.
self-indulgent shit. I
Uh,
think the great thing about watching the band, the last waltz is you get who you get, and that's what's great about it.
hmm.
You get Dr. John, you get Ronnie Hawkins, you get, Joni Mitchell, Neil Young, you get Bob Dylan, who basically was trying to say, look, I don't want to be filmed because his movie Ronaldo and Clara was coming out.
Oh, that's
And
right.
how good did that do? You know, um, you know, I don't think and there's a couple of movies the Grateful Dead did. They did the Grateful Dead movie, which is great
Yes.
to watch. But I think that's the show they're doing for their
I
retirement
think you're
in
right. I did
'70s.
hear that they were doing something. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they did one in '72 called Sunshine Daydream, where they were up in this dairy farm
Hmm.
in Oregon. And it's one of the first shows they play with Keith Godshaw, who was taking over for Pigpen
Oh,
as the
jeez.
keyboard player. Yeah, and it's a good thing. It's a great thing to watch. But I always say the one thing about the Grateful Dead movie is, you don't have to be high to enjoy it. The music's great. You know,
Right.
but the thing I always said about the Sunshine Daydream was it's them coming out of the '60s and going into the '70s, and it's after Europe '72, and
Hmm.
it's a great thing to watch. And I've actually watched. My friend Zolt gave me the video cassette of it when I was in college, and because I love the Grateful Dead, and he's like, dude, you got to watch this. It's great. So it's great to watch. Them on stage. And
Right.
it's them. But that's the thing. Everybody kind of says, what is the perfect concert movie? I always say it's The Last Waltz. you know. And then if anybody remembers in the '80s, they started releasing like The Doors Live at the Hollywood Bowl,
Correct.
which is a great thing to watch. They had, the Beatles never made a concert movie. The Stones did Gimme Shelter, which is part
Mhm.
concert, part, you know, tragic movie at the end. Uh
I always love the ones that sometimes mix in some stand up in between each one. So I had on repeat growing up a wonderful Springsteen concert from 2001 that was played just religiously on HBO.
yeah,
That was, oh God, it'll come to me in a minute.
The Rising.
Yeah, he played The Rising, but yeah, it was live in New York City,
Yeah.
and it was just so well filmed. Like you actually felt like you were in the audience, and the songs moved to the next narrative.
Yeah.
I think the reason it did so well, as opposed to just being a big produced thing, is the songs were very healing. I know Springsteen has a new one out that I'm also going to watch soon, but that's more of a documentary. The name of that one,
You ever see the No Nukes one? No
uh,
Nukes.
so that's
That
Road
was
Diary. No nukes, no
No
nukes.
Nukes, 1980. It was a concert put on by
Wow, Jackson Brown, Graham.
Jackson
What
Brown,
the hell? Whoa!
Jackson Brown, Orleans, Crosby, Stills and Nash, Bonnie Raitt. I forgot who else was in
I'll
that.
have to see it now. Jesus.
It came on. I watched it a couple. Springsteen did it too. Springsteen did it, and it was like 2 or 3 nights. I think I remember at Madison Square Garden. It was a fundraiser for the nuclear energy was like 3 Mile Island. Everybody was kind of like freaking out at that time.
Mm.
So what they did was they basically let me look it up. Hold on. Hang
Yeah, I
on.
think you're right. Yeah, it was in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, and all I can remember is just watching. Let me see if I can find it. Yep,
I found a link.
1979. Yep,
Yeah, that's nice. I will.
I'm trying to find out what.
1980. Yeah,
Yeah, 1980.
just found it. See, I love all these different rare collaborations.
Jackson Browne, Crosby, Stills and Nash, the Doobie Brothers, John Hall, Graham Nash, Bonnie Raitt, Gil Scott Heron, James Taylor, Jesse Colin Young, Bruce Springsteen, the Street Band. It was supposed to be a thing about the dangers of nuclear energy. And I think, if I remember correctly, some people got blacklisted for it. Like, you didn't hear Bonnie Raitt for a while,
Really,
Yeah.
what was touchy about it?
Well, it was something that a lot of people were, they were saying, nuclear energy wasn't a safe thing, and God forbid something happens. And I think they were trying to get everybody to like just fucking say, we have to stop this here, and that's it. And
Someone else wanted to spin it.
yeah, somebody else just wanted.
We'll return after these messages.
If you like small town mystery, crazy news, and wild history, then the Florida Men on Florida Man podcast is for you. Each week, Josh Mills and Wayne McCarty bring you the absolute best Florida has to offer. So if you're looking for a show that's safe for the family, but funny enough to help you escape everyday life, then listen to the Florida Men on Florida Man podcast. That's Florida Men, plural, on Florida Man podcast.
Hey, it's Brent Pope, the host of Breakfast with Brent Pope. You've seen me on some of your favorite TV shows saying things like, "Give it up, Jimmy. You got to sink this putt to win." On Breakfast with Brent Pope, I sit down with guests from the entertainment world, and we do it all over breakfast. Or should I say Brentfast? Every week on Brentfast, you get inside Hollywood info and tips, great breakfast recs and foodie debates. Most of all, you get the most delightful 30 minutes of your week. So dig in. It's Brentfast time. Listen at Brentfast.com, Apple Podcasts, or wherever fine podcasts are found.
Like, it was really fun to watch because there were a lot of people who were doing that, and I just remember. Oh crap! I'm just trying to remember it really, really well because all I remember is No Nukes film. Okay, here we go. Yeah, it was supposed to be the dangerous nuclear power staging anti-nuclear rally at Battery Park. This was the first appearance. Okay, so this was the first appearance of Bruce Springsteen and the Street Band's live act on film. Many hailed his performances as the River was debuted of these shows on film, as well as Shaka Khan's consultation being Bruce. Oh, right, deadpan backstage. Too bad his name wasn't Melvin. Yeah, he's basically being Bruce. The other general claim highlight is Carly Simon and James Taylor's physical dynamic duet on Mockingbird. And on the other hand, giant Graham Nash's earnest spoken part about having seen giant sponges as a sign of nuclear effect earned itself a Spinal Tap reputation as rock star verbal blundering. Oh my god, I would just fucking piss myself instantly, Giant sponges. Yeah, it's
And see, this is where you often knew these groups. If you didn't see these concert movies, then you only saw them when they did like Relief, like every other year. That was the only time. If you didn't have cable or MTV, you didn't see these guys perform on the regular. You didn't have unless you went to stores and got the music video tapes, which included a behind the scenes, after the fact. You didn't know.
Yeah, I can remember, like, concert films being released. It was like I can remember Beatlemania being released on video cassette and thinking to myself, I'm being cheated.
Yes.
So oh man.
I still think what's their name? Pink Floyd's The Wall still holds up. It's not really a concert movie, but it's definitely an interactive music video.
It's a giant music video, but not only that, I mean, I just don't like it that much. I
All
like
right.
when they did I like when they did Live in Pompeii. That's amazing to watch.
All right. Hey.
When they do echoes
Mhm.
and they're playing in Pompeii, holy crap.
I don't feel like
And it's
Tommy holds up for me at all, but I think everyone should
Tommy
watch it
Tommy
just once.
Tommy's I don't think Tommy's that good. I mean, I love Ken Russell and I love The Who, but
Yeah, I
Tommy's
love
not good.
Nicholson
You
when he
want
plays his dad in that one scene. He's like, "How you doing,
no,
son?"
no, no, it's Oliver Reed. Oliver Reed played the dad.
Nicholson's in there though.
Nicholson plays the doctor.
That's what I'm thinking. Okay.
You know, his eyes can hear his. And John Nicholson was like, "He's the worst bloody singer I ever heard in my life." Yeah, I. You want to see a good movie, rock and roll movie? You got to watch the second one they made, Quadrophenia. That's unbelievable. That is
I see.
Quadrophenia is great to watch.
Wow. Okay. Sure.
I have Quadrophenia on DVD. It's the second rock opera they did,
Mm,
which was about the mods in England in 1964,
nice.
and
All right.
it's good. It's good to watch. I always do like in my top five rock and roll movies of all time. Okay, so it goes for me. It goes A Hard Day's Night, Help, or number one. Number two is Rock and Roll High School with the Ramones.
Mhm.
Three is Quadrophenia. Okay. Four is The Last Waltz with the band.
All right.
Five is Monterey Pop. You know,
All right. Hey. Um, and it's just so funny though how I did you ever see how Roger Daltrey did a drama called Buddy?
I remember that. Yeah,
I never saw the show, but I saw the movie follow-up they did in 91, Buddy's Song.
yeah.
It's hard to get into, but again, Daltrey is just so engaging as an actor. He's just playing basically a hack talent manager who's like, "You need me in order to make you look good." Just
Yeah.
it's just so funny, just back and forth, their camaraderie. So it's watchable. It's not quite there yet, but it's an interesting curiosity, I
Well,
find.
I love watching Keith Moon and Sextet, the last Mae West movie they ever made,
Yes.
and he comes in as the tailor, the flamboyant. He's like, Margot, darling, how good to see you. He's like, that dress is so good, I'd wear it, and I have. He's just all. That's the one thing that cracks me up is watching that movie and hearing Alice Cooper do
Oh,
a
yes.
disco song,
He's
and
the
I'm sitting
waiter.
there,
Yeah.
yeah, and I'm sitting there like, it's fucking Alice Cooper.
Yeah. Who would have thought? Would you
You know,
call Rock and Roll High School a music movie?
yeah, yeah.
As the Ramones playing themselves. And
The
don't you just
Ramones,
love how that was one
the
of the
remote.
critiques?
It's got one of the best songs McCartney ever released on a record called "Haven't We Met Somewhere Before."
Mm.
Um, it's got the Ramones. I'm 7 years old, 6 or 7 years old. I'm watching the movie. I'm wondering who this band is called the Ramones. I've never heard of them.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there and I'm like, these guys are fucking great. My little 7-year-old mind is going, you know, and to me, I can remember seeing that in Cinemax going like, thinking to myself, I'm in love with Riff Randall. And I met PJ Souls in real life. I
Oh,
have a picture
wow.
with PJ Souls and me on my Facebook page.
You are
And
lucky.
I know, I was like, Riff Randall, rock and roller, her and Day Young, who's great as her, her cohort in Trouble. Riff Randall, I would have dated Riff Randall. And the great thing about that movie is you've got what you call it, Paul Bartel and Mary
Yes.
Warnoff,
Oh,
and then
man.
you've got Clint Howard playing
Yes.
one of his best. My favorite roles is Eagle Bauer. You
He's
know,
so wacky. But yeah,
he's
Bartell is the professor who's like, I guess I'm gonna let loose. Let's party. Just
yeah, and Mary Warnoff was great as Miss Togar. You know, And she's like, she reminded me so much of some of the teachers I had in school.
Really?
Who basically were telling us rock and roll isn't poetry. Oh yeah, listen to this.
Yeah, allow me to disagree. But I love it how some people are critiqued it. Oh, the Ramones, I don't really feel like they're great actors. I'm like, they're playing themselves.
The Ramones are cartoon characters.
They really are in real life. So it's like, but it's theatrical when you.
Now you want to see bad acting? Watch Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park. That's bad fucking acting.
Yeah,
That's not even amusing.
bad.
That's just a piece. That's a piece of shit brought on a silver plate.
I'm glad you brought that one up. You want a movie that's not great in acting, but makes up for it in the gags. Look at Tenacious D and The Pick of Destiny. I don't think it's.
Oh, that's great to watch.
It's not a great movie, but it's funny. It's just
yeah,
outrageous.
But
Jack Black kind of bashed it when it came out just because it did so poorly. But I think he was caving to the pressure because he thought they had a little too much fun. But I think he's come around to it when he still gets asked about it, because the final rock duet they do when they're fighting the devil is just so cleverly staged.
I remember watching Tenacious D on HBO.
Oh yeah. That they have uploaded it on the Max app, but it is also one of those you're just like, much like Mr. Show, they didn't really know what to do with it, but they kind of kept playing it.
Yeah.
That HBO at times kind of felt like it was anything too intense for Adult Swim. We're putting on here.
But all I remember is Tenacious D being on, and like all of a sudden they had an album out, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Like Spinal Tap, they're being more than just a parody band.
That's the first. There's one movie I think a lot of people have kind of passed over when it comes to rock and roll movies, and that's John Lennon, Live Peace in Toronto. 1970. Great thing to watch because it's Jerry Lee Lewis. It's Jerry Lee. I forget who's in Jerry Lee Lewis, Little Richard, Chuck Berry,
Sweet Toronto.
Sweet Toronto. Yeah, and Lennon comes out, and it's like, okay, they're doing all these songs, and then all of a sudden, in the end, it's like Yoko's gonna do her thing, and everybody just went, "Ah, shit, oh shit," Oh Christ, just get me the fuck out. Turn it off. I watched that last part she did. Don't worry, Kyoko. Mommy's only looking for her hand in the snow. And I was like, all this is just feedback and drums and bass, and she's yelling and screaming, and I'm like, what the fuck is this shit?
That was bad. But otherwise, good show.
It was great, 5 feet to the left, December 8th, 1980, we could have had a Beatles reunion, but, I kind of was like, okay, I don't get Yoko Ono that much, but
I don't think any of us did.
I can see why people don't like her, but if you hear her stuff like she did on her own, there's some really good stuff on her. She's kind of like a person, it's like she's almost like post-punk, what she was doing, but with the whole screaming, caterwauling.
Yeah, that was all most of us knew her for, and we were like, no, thank you.
She's like a cat being strangled,
Yeah, not something you want to hear.
It's like every time I've listened to those records, I've been like, my friend actually gave me a box set of like all John Lennon's solo stuff that he did before, he put out the first proper solo record he did. So it's like, Unfinished, Two Virgins, Life with the Lions, the Wedding album.
He had his playlist already pre-planned.
It's like here, try these, and I was like, no, I'm gonna use these coasters.
Did you ever do that with any college reunions with any of your pals? I know my father and his friends will do mixtapes that they'll pass around. This is the backyard playlist. This is the reunion playlist.
We did a reunion playlist at my 15th was my 20th. And it was all these songs we had, and then we ended up with I Got Friends in Low Places, and I was like, this is not the song to end up with.
I'm proud to have friends.
I don't want to hear this shit. Turn this shit off.
If you think about it, though, you could probably call Purple Rain a concert movie.
Yeah, Purple Rain's...
with a story.
I mean, Purple Rain's good, but, I don't know.
It's one of those, the story's not good, but the music and style kind of made up for the stupid
Yeah.
It's
when I
a
hear
sexploitation movie. Oh, I'm just kidding.
Oh man, what a night we've had tonight.
We've had a hell of a night.
Follow us on the web on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The podcast is available on Podbean, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor, Apple, and anywhere else podcasts are available. Feel free to review our show and leave comments on any of those sites. Thanks a million for listening.
It's a jacked up